Hello. Knowledge is power. That's a very famous phrase. Everyone knows it. Many of you believe it, don't you? But is it true? Is it really knowledge is power even today? Well, I'm a researcher of science studies. So I'd like to talk about what is knowledge, or what is the role of knowledge today in our society. Well, this phrase, knowledge is power, firstly appeared in the early 17th century, exactly saying the 1620. It was almost 400 years ago. So during these 400 years, almost everything has changed in our society. Political systems, the economical situations, and the conditions of the industrializations, and the standard of the educations. And the amount of the information and the knowledge has drastically, explosively increased. We have too much knowledge, too much information. Too much knowledge sometimes causes confusion rather than solution. Let us think about genomic medicine, genetic sciences. Today, we can read genomic information or genetic sequences of each person. That information can predict certain probability of certain kinds of the disease. You now have the knowledge to detect the diseases. That was not possible to do in the past. What if you have the knowledge about the disease, but imagine there is no cure for it? Are you happy or unhappy? Next story comes from the area of the neuroscience, brain surgery. There is a neurosurgical medical treatment which is called deep brain stimulation. They're putting the electrodes in the deep parts of the brains and then giving the electric stimuli to reducing the pain and the trembling in the Parkinson's disease. Well, some years ago, it was found that this deep brain stimulation can reduce one's appetite, which means you may lose your weight to using this deep brain stimulation, or we can cure obesity. Now we have knowledge and power to use this technology to cure some kind of the very difficult issues. But can you imagine you really control your appetite using this method, deep brain stimulations? I believe that you know that your appetite is very strong, very tough. It might be very difficult. Well, the result of the one clinical experiment told us that it was very difficult. The one patient who was treated this deep brain stimulation to control his appetite, at last turned the switch off by himself during the nighttime, and then he rushed the refrigerator in the hospital and get more and more foods, and at least he gained more weight than before the treatment. So the appetite, human nature, the innate, was sometimes too strong to artificially control. Last example is Down syndrome. This is Down syndrome. Please imagine if you are pregnant with a baby, unborn baby with a fetus with Down syndrome. Now you have to choose having a baby or having an abortion. It must be very difficult, tough choice, and hard decisions. prenatal diagnosis might be helpful. Well, now you can have newly developed non-invasive prenatal diagnosis which provide the very accurate information about the status of your fetus in the very early stage of the pregnancies. Well, now you have the knowledge and the power to make the choice. But do they make the people happy or unhappy? Well, some researchers reported that many of the women or the parents, expectant parents, felt confusion. They are perplexed. So giving the information at the early stages just prolonged the period of confusion. It might be very stressful. So it is clear that just the knowledge itself is not power anymore. We need a power of choice, power of the decision. Where this power comes from? From your imagination, our imaginations. Please imagine what will you do after your choice? What will you think? What will you feel after your decision? If your imagination is beautiful and happier, now you can turn the knowledge into the real powerful tool to realize your imaginations. Knowledge can be power. It depends on you, on our imagination. Thank you very much.